That's right. Let's go. Welcome to another edition of Coffee and Tea. I am super excited, as I am always, to be with you guys on another Friday night to have another conversation about something that we all can relate to. Whether or not you are actually a podcaster, you watch a podcast, or you know any of the crazy people that I am about to introduce, you can all relate to this podcasting life. So, this is part two. If you have not seen part one, you missed out, but it is still available on our YouTube page. So, you can go and check that out right after you watch this one. All right. So, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and introduce everybody so we can go ahead and let the shenanigans begin. So, up first is one part of the Husband's Lounge, Mr. Anthony Johnston. Just to give you a synopsis of the Husband's Lounge, they celebrate, commiserate, and navigate the journey of being a husband in the 21st century. Their most recent episode posted today, I think, and it's called The Widower's Walk. So I did share that to my page. So if you guys want to check that out, you can do that. So I'm going to bring Mr. Johnston in. How are you, Anthony?
What's going on? What's going on, man? That was an amazing intro.
Okay,
Wow,
good. I'm glad. Trying something just a little
man,
bit
I
different.
felt like a celebrity. I was like in the green room waiting.
Well, I'm going to
No,
bring in the other half before you get too excited
okay.
of the Husband's Lounge. So I'm going to bring in none other than Mr. Pratt.
What it do? What it do, good people? It's your boy, Professor Charles, back in the building. It's Friday, so we running it today.
I
We
hear
ain't got
that.
no job. We ain't got shit to do.
Listen, I got too many jobs. That's the problem right now. Like I have too many jobs.
Look, multiple streams of income. That's what they say,
That's
right?
it.
Trying to get there.
Charles is also Professor Charles to many of us because he is one half of the dynamic duo that is the Dating University, where they discuss the good, the bad, the ugly of all things dating and relationships. And for those of you that do follow, Dating University will be back up and running September the 12th. So we are anticipating getting back into class with the Dating University.
I
Listen,
didn't pay
love,
my
man,
registration.
I'm,
Pay
I'm
my
loving these intros, man. Like that's
she
fire, man.
killing
But
it.
yes, we are ready to come back, man. Last season it took a little turn. We got real heavy, got real deep, got real healing.
Yeah,
But
it wasn't even about dating at the end, man. It was
It
more so
wasn't, but
just
it was
about
good.
living.
it was
It
just
It
was
was
about
good.
living,
good.
just it's all it is. But this season we're bringing back the love, we're bringing back the fun, we're bringing back the heat. So be on the lookout. We got some great things coming for this season. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Awesome. So let's bring in another one of our podcasters. He is the host of the Married Life podcast, where they discuss the good, the bad, the ups and downs of marriage. His most recent episode that aired this past Sunday is called Body Counts. If you did not get an opportunity to see that, please go and watch that. It is a very interesting conversation. He also is the host of In the Basement with B and Ride with B, where he's just talking all things pop culture. And on the ride part, it is just the most unscripted piece of cinema that you will ever see in your entire life. But he is none other than Brian Johnston. Hello, Mr. Johnston.
Listen, I'm with Anthony and Charles. These intros, I feel like I'm sitting at the Steve Harvey couch.
Man, this I
Stop
feel
it.
Oh my
I feel that.
gosh.
I feel that.
Ellen DeGeneres
Stop
out
it.
this joint.
Listen, I am about to
Shannon
send
Sharp.
I
Come
am about
on
to
now.
send
Y'all gonna make me blush, and that's not good.
I'm about to send Brian a copyright strike though. I ain't gonna hold you though.
Hey,
Get
my
facts.
hey,
Facts.
listen,
Look,
yes.
it's a coinable phrase. Like,
It is, man.
man,
That joint.
it's everywhere.
For real, for real.
And last but definitely not least is another wonderful podcaster. He is one half of the folks that call themselves the Two Fat Guys Podcast. It is a podcast with two fat guys talking about comics, movies, and other things. Their upcoming episode is going to happen this Saturday. I believe it's called Underrated or Overrated, Phase 4 of the Marvel Universe. None other than Mr. Crazy Gross himself.
Crazy
Hi, Kevin.
Gross. Hold on. Okay, you know what? You gave everybody the most perfect intros, and you botched it.
I did watch yours. Does it not say Crazy Kevin Gross on
You
it?
didn't say Kevin. You said Crazy Gross.
So,
You completely, and it's yeah.
So last time you didn't want me to call you Mr. Gross because you felt some kind of way.
Right,
Now I
right.
called you Crazy Gross and you still feel some kind of way.
Because
Like
my
I'm
name,
gonna kick you off and we just do this without shit. Okay.
I love y'all, but my name is Crazy Kevin. But
Crazy Kevin.
hey, yes,
This is
yes,
crazy.
hey, yes.
Say the whole thing if you would.
You know,
So one
definitely
word.
shout out to you, Chris, for having us back. Definitely looking forward to it. Hey, I've been looking forward to this. Yeah, y'all know what my plight was for the last 23 hours. I was determined to be here. So I'm here by the grace of God. So let's get into these
Let's
shenanigans.
get it.
Let's
Sir.
get it.
Well, as always, like I said the last time, I am truly, truly thankful that you guys not only came once, but twice to be a part of this podcast, just to kind of talk about all the things that we endure and go through as podcasters. So thank you once again.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you for having us. We really
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having us. This is going to be fun. I looked at the questions. I said, "Oh, this might actually have some structure this time." Because
Right. This is go, man. This is go question.
It all started with some structure and then it just went off the rails after a while.
And then we
So
started talking about $125.
$125 coffees and
Listen,
stuff like.
Listen,
Hold on. So there was questions.
you know what?
Look, I told you I've been going through some. I told y'all the last 24 hours I've been going through some stuff.
Oh, man.
his whole memory is shot.
Oh,
So
dang.
I did some research just because it was one of the questions that I was asked from the last podcast.
Oh, wow.
So there's two coffee houses in the DC or in the Baltimore DC area that actually do the coffee that Brian was referring to.
Mhm.
One of those.
No. Wait, Chrissy.
Not without
Oh,
cash.
yeah.
Not
I
without
guess
cash.
right.
No, two reasons. One, not without credit or any type of monetization,
Cut the
right?
check.
That's true.
And then secondly, Brian might actually go to those places, so we don't need the name.
You're right. Just know that there's one place in DC and then there's one place in Baltimore that actually does this crazy coffee. So
Okay,
there you go. If you want the actual coffee houses, come talk
Google
to
it. She'll DM you.
That's it. So getting into this whole thing, that was really loud. Let's talk about this podcast in life yet again. I want to start off with the questions that came from the session last time that we did not get to answer. So one of those questions, let's just go ahead and jump right into it, is what have been some of the biggest challenges that you have faced as podcasters?
Who want to go
The
first?
fact that Charles is
I'll
laughing.
go first. Because, and then Charles probably can piggyback off of it. Me and Charles's biggest challenge is consistency. And I think it's because the way our podcast is structured, it's not through StreamYard or anything like that. It's strictly us sitting and having a conversation with one another. So it's based off of time and kind of scheduling it for us to even get together to sit down and have that conversation. So consistency plays a part in it. And with me I can't even call him a newborn anymore, but with me having a baby here, almost a toddler, time is 90% of my time is to him, and the other 10% is 5% to my wife, and the other 5% to my job. So, or I would say 7% to the wife, 3% to the job. So it's just tough at this moment, but we're making it work. We kind of got a rhythm now. We're going to speak probably Sunday about getting other episodes out, recorded, and getting them out. But yeah, I think consistency is the toughest part.
Anybody else want to speak to that?
Yeah, definitely consistency. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely, as Anthony says, consistency. Even with, with my two podcasts, just finding the time to do it. You say, yeah, I'm gonna go on at 7:45, then it's 7:30, and you like, wait, hold on, and then again, I'm a whole full-time dad, so the world doesn't stop because I want to sit and hit play. So yeah, sometimes just finding time, finding the right opportunity to plug in and to actually have a full episode. Sometimes that's probably why some of my episodes are so short in some cases, because I have to pop back into real life real quick. That's why I think the ride would be so spontaneous and fun, because normally it's just me, so I just could plug in. Don't really have to worry about everything else except for a red light here and there. But yeah, I think time and consistency has always been, even when my wife, when we was doing the Married Life podcast together, just finding the time to make sure everything else is cool before we plug in. So
I think for me, because I do have a partner that is in a different state than I am. Finding that the timing and making sure our schedules line up. So I'm off on the weekends. He's not. And he's more active. Not saying I'm not active in my kid's life, but he has an active son who plays football. Mm-hmm. So football season, I'm picked back up. So like Brian said, like you say, we say 8 o'clock, but then sometimes we don't come on till 8:30 because I'm waiting on Danny to get himself situated and to make sure we got our flow together. And I think for us, out of everybody that's on this particular panel, we're different because we're weekly. So we're every week. So every Saturday we're on here. We did take a break because we needed that time. We needed to take a breather. All right, dude, we're gonna take these 3 weeks and then we're gonna jump back in and launch season 2. So by us doing it every week, it's that timing, that consistency, and people have come to expect that from us now. Because when we were gone at 3 weeks, people was like, y'all good? Like, what happened? Did y'all shut it down? Like, what's going on? It was like, we told y'all in the last episode, we going on hiatus for 3 weeks. Like, we need a break. we need a break. So, but I think that's one of the biggest struggles. But for Danny and I, it works. And I think when you have a partner, communication is the biggest thing. So he always lets me know, dude, go ahead, get set up. I'm going to jump in. Because there's been times I started the show by myself. He's like, go ahead, give me 5 minutes, just get it going. Mm-hmm. And then he'll jump in, I'll introduce him. I was like, here's my dynamic partner right here. 20 minutes later as usual. Got to throw him under the bus a little bit. And we go from there. So it's that communication. But yeah, I'm fortunate because Anthony said he has a baby. I don't. Brian got a house full of kids. I don't. You see what I'm saying? My oldest kid lives on his own. My second son, he's chilling with his mother. And my daughter, it's just her. So, and she's 16, so she like, look, I'm breathing, I'm alive, I'll holler. Cool. So.
Okay. Well, I kind of deal with the same struggle, but I have 2 podcasts. So my Lazarus Movement one is a weekly one. And for that, it's just finding time to be able to study. Because I have a very busy, real life, between ministry stuff that I have to do at church and then this kind of stuff and then work. Just being able to find that quiet space to be able to study so that I can deliver it the way that I'm supposed to, sometimes comes into play. And that's weekly. This is bi-weekly. and it's different because I have guests. So now trying to base the schedule, like I want to do it every other week, but when people aren't available and it's the show that I want to do, then it pushes it out further because now people aren't available. So balance yet again.
Let me ask you a question, Chris. And because you mentioned ministry, and I think we all are in ministry, but Brian's a deacon. I know that Charles and Anthony said they're deacons and trainers now, but you are now actual ministers. So, do you find it hard to balance this, the shenanigans that come with this life versus ministry? Because I get that all the time. So people when I announced last week, I was like, all right, we gotta cut this show short. Like we not gonna be 3 hours tonight because I gotta preach Sunday. People was like, you a minister? Don't you think that's like a conflict? And I'm like, no, because we don't go out of pocket. We stay within our lane, and I don't allow myself to come out of who I am and what I represent outside of Two Fat Guys. So my question to you is, do you find yourself sometimes walking that line?
So here's what I tell everybody when it comes to ministry. Ministry really is lifestyle.
It is.
So everything
Absolutely.
that I do is all a part of the ministry that I walk in.
Yeah.
So I'm all about real life and real things and real people and a very real God. So in everything that I do, there has to be some level of it and some aspect of it. So is it difficult at times? No. The content that I talk about, is it outside of what I would talk about across the pulpit? Anybody that has heard me speak will tell you I talk about it all. I don't care. Because I feel like, and I'm trying not to be, go too far that way.
Right.
Say your piece though. For real.
As the church, like real life calls for real situations and real conversations. So regardless of what's happening, I'm supposed to have a very real conversation, whether it's with you here in the space or across the pulpit or out on the corner. It's real life. And the Bible is a real life application to what's happening in our lives. So if it's in there and I can talk about it, we're going to talk about it.
What they say is basic instructions before leaving Earth.
Right.
So there's no balance because it's life. Just like, tidbit for the end of the show, my next show on here is talking about infertility, and it's going to be me talking about me and the struggle that I go through with what I've struggled with my entire life and how, certain things have played into it. The desire to have kids and not physically being able to at the moment. So, it's everything, but there's a very real life story in the Bible with Hannah when you had that same situation. So again, real life conversation, real ministry. So
I get it. I get it. The reason, like I said, the reason why I asked, because you watch the show and it's always some type of shenanigans on my show where like I gotta go, all right, we need to come back. Reel it in because
Here's the thing though, Kev, but not to cut you off, but here's the thing, man. Before you was a minister, you was Kev. You feel me? And I've always looked at it from this aspect, right? And this is probably why I'm not probably a minister. Your life isn't the Bible. We are supposed to live like Christ, not be him.
Yes.
Right? So with us being the person that we are, our personalities, he created us in his image. Yes, we're that person, right? But it then leads to the personality and the characters that you've created or generated throughout the years that you are. Now, you don't want to stray from the lifestyle that you're walking, right? The life that you're walking. But you also don't want to deflect from who you are. You get what I'm saying? I'm all for shenanigans. However,
no, I'm for shenanigans too, but I'm gonna tell you this. People, I know why God put me in the position he put me in because of my mouth.
Because it slowed you down. Slow
right.
you down.
He slowed me down, but
Yeah.
my mouth at times doesn't have a filter. And
Yeah,
I'm the
mine
type of
don't
person because I came from a woman whose mouth didn't have a filter. So now I know how to use that lack of filter to tell the truth. Now I'm telling you this not to hurt you, but to let you know what's real. So that's why for me, it's not an issue to walk the line because like Christy said, there is no line, but I'm dealing with people who are not, I'm not going to say they're not in the body, but they don't think the way I think. So sometimes I got to be like, hey, bring it back. You know, we got to, all right, let's get back to the show. So,
Right.
so
Charles and this
sometimes that's
camera,
just how
man.
it is.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Bro, I don't
even-
know what's happening.
It's not a MacBook. That's what's happening.
But this is
not a
live.
MacBook.
This is one of the challenges that you deal with when you're a podcaster.
Look,
You're doing live stuff.
it's a really great segue because I'm getting ready to ask that question.
Well,
What are some of the
I'm here.
challenges?
You can't see me, but I'm here. Bro. I'm in the ether right
The
now. That's
question-
where I'm at. I am everywhere and nowhere at once.
All at the same time. See Anthony's structure out the window. So in this space with what Charles is going through, like what do you guys do when technical difficulties happen? Like Anthony,
You gotta roll with it.
For you all, technical
Oh,
difficulties mean a different thing because you guys record
Yeah.
versus doing things live where there's a group of us that do things live. So what does that look like?
And this is one of the
With
reasons
us,
why
with us being
it's-
live, with our show being live, especially with Dayton University being live, right? We've had technical difficulties, and y'all don't see it. We're seeing it, and we deal with it, and it's like, oh my god, what are we going to do? We're already live. I'm not going to end the stream because that's just stupid. Because
Yeah.
once you do that, it takes people out of the immersion. You know
It
what I'm
does.
saying? So
I know.
and
Go,
so
I'm sorry, go ahead, Charles.
yeah, so it's just a matter of like, hey, listen, this is not a professional setup. I don't have producers and grips and background people who are working on the technical boards in the back, whatever. We don't have that. So it's just here it is. We're gonna work out the way we work it out, and God bless the fact that our fans and our followers are just like, yeah, we get it. Stuff happens. Like right now, like this is trash. Y'all can't see my medium ugly face. Like this is crazy.
Wow.
Medium ugly.
No,
Wow, I've never heard that before.
That's
Should get a
I know.
MacBook, man. That should. Our
perfect
cameras
example.
work.
And you just cussing at
Yeah.
me, bro. Like, why are you
Perfect. I'm just saying, I'm not an Apple person, but I do have a MacBook and an iPad. I'm an Android, but I know when it comes to audio and visual, I gotta go Mac.
smart. Man.
But I know,
Smart man.
and Brian can attest to this. When we did our season 2 premiere, my camera went out, and I knew what happened. My internet, because I have a range extender, and for whatever reason, my range extender cracked out. It kicked me off, and it had to. So my MacBook had to jump back to the primary internet source, and my picture went out. I was sitting like it was a gray box. I was like, "Hey, okay, can y'all guys still hear me?" And it was like, "Yeah, we can hear you, but we can't see you." I was like, "All right, y'all just keep going. Let me do what I do." And I fixed it.
And that's why I think recording is the reason why I approached it in the recording realm, because if there is an issue, we can always go back or in post, even though I don't do edit. In post, I can make the adjustments that's needed. I remember one episode that we did, I switched the cord from in one of the devices that we had, and all audio went out. It stopped recording. So
yeah, remember.
and then I had to go in the post and change it, and you couldn't even tell like it was
No.
a mix up. But again, with it being recorded, it was easier for us to look more, have that more perfection. Because I don't want to say I'm a perfectionist,
You are.
but
You are.
I kind of
I
put
mean,
my.
let's
I
not do
want to
that.
make it as perfect as possible. I always wanted to look shiny, even though it's wrapped up dog stuff. You feel me?
I feel you on that, but I like that live because
I do want to start live though.
because
And
the
me and
energy
Charles
is
had that
different.
conversation.
The energy is way different, like you
Yeah,
said.
the energy
It
is
is.
different. because when you get the feedback from people that's watching you live and they
Yeah.
chiming in, jumping in and out with the conversation, it
Yeah.
makes it more organic. Like
And
Danny
it's
and I,
conversation filler for when you literally
Right.
run out of things
Yeah.
to say at the moment.
right?
Yeah, me and
because
Charles have had these conversations to introduce StreamYard to our podcast,
Don't
the
get me
live
wrong, the
streams and stuff
StreamYard-
like that.
the StreamYard you can still record and schedule to go live.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Danny and I have done that in the past. It's like, all right, we
That's how
can't
I
do it
do it.
Saturday, so let's just do a pre-record. But we've also noticed that the energy is different, even between me and him. The energy is different because it's like wrestling.
Mm.
And I hate to keep going back to that, but that's the best analogy. You feed off the fans, you feed off the crowd, you feed off the spectators.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
it's
the
still
same
scripted, and you think somebody's going to win.
It
and they
doesn't
still
matter,
lose.
but it doesn't matter in that aspect. But it's the energy.
Oh,
Don't do
It's
that.
not that part of the
energy.
analogy.
Come on,
It's
Ed,
the
come on.
energy.
Hilarious.
And they were
It's
there
the
looking like
energy.
DJD Nice.
Right.
Wow. That made a left hand turn
Wow.
into nowhere,
I don't even know what
Brian.
happened. I don't even know what happened.
I don't even know where the turn went because
Yo, we were talking about wrestling analogies, and you went straight for my hat and plaid shirt, sir. Chrissy, what's the
Listen,
next question? I'm not
I-
entertaining
apparently
this.
I need to go to the next one.
Yeah, before it really goes crazy.
Lord have mercy.
Come get me.
Okay, so this, again, another question from the last show. When
Okay.
it comes to like legal issues, like
Mm.
any disclaimers that you guys feel like you have to have, or have you navigated any like legal issues for your podcast to stay in certain parameters?
Me,
with
no.
me, yeah, with
No.
me, I had to copyright the Married Life podcast. I thought, even when we started it out, we thought we was cool, but even then I knew eventually I was gonna have to copyright it just for the sake of just having it copyrighted. And in the midst of copywriting it, I saw that I was notified that someone else was going for the same name, the way they spelled, but the way they was going for it for a totally different reason for it than when I was going for it. They was going for it for more so clothing and something else where I just wanted to use it for promotion, podcast and entertainment. So I guess I almost say we was able to use it. I'm able to use it, but I can't print it. I guess you could say I can't print it on t-shirts.
Yeah, that's trademark. That's more trademark
that's
than
trademark.
than copyright. Copyright just allows you to own I guess not own the name, but I guess
No, you copyright is that you have the access to the name. And
Yeah,
that name
access
is
to the
yours,
name.
and then no one else can use that in perpetuity without
right.
consulting you. Otherwise, you have the legal right to hit
Right.
them with a cease and desist.
Right.
So yeah, because that was one of the things that we went through when Brittany and I decided to really get serious about Dating University and not just having it just to be some random, show that we do. Like we literally had to get lawyers involved. Like we had to get our own separate lawyers involved in order to get like the LLC up and running because of how we're set up. It's two, and it's no tiebreaker. So if something got, I know it won't happen, but if something were to happen between her and I, where we don't see eye to eye, it's basically a mutual destruction clause
Wow.
in our LLC, and we're okay with that. You know what I'm saying? It took a minute. Oh no, hold on. First of all, hold on.
Who is this? Who's
Hold
this?
on.
Who's this person?
Hold on.
That's my BFF right there.
Yeah, where she live? Where she live?
She was at Owens Mills.
Oh, it's me. If
You don't have a Baltimore accent too. You don't walk around here like you don't say Doug.
up the street. What are you
Doug.
Don't come for my friend. Don't come
These
for my
Owens
friend.
Mills people, man.
Said the Owens. Let me shut up.
these
But,
Owens Mills people think they're from Baltimore, not Baltimore.
Have you ever been?
Right. Please.
But like
And around that county.
look, I do.
I do. That's hilarious.
Kevin,
Well,
for
you
Kevin
need to
and
sit
for
down and
Brian.
listen to us when we talking, shorty. Yeah.
Sure. Come on, dummy.
Yo, you know what? You know what? The next mixtape I make, I'm putting that song on there because I had that in my repertoire. I only still do like 90s club music from when we was in high school, but yeah. Have you ever been to Anne Arundel County? Yeah, I'm putting that on there.
Let's not sing it. So for
Don't come for
Kevin
me.
and Brian,
Don't come for me.
Good.
That hurt. I
I
love
don't
you.
want
You
my-
hurt.
I don't want my live to get shut down. Thank you very much.
That song's not even copyrighted.
It actually is. Yo.
Facebook mute stuff. So anyway, for Kevin and for
I
Brian,
have
you
never
guys talk
pronounced
about
the T in
like
Baltimore,
wrestling.
dummy. Wow.
all that kind of stuff. Hilarious. Do you guys? Is there any like legal parameters in all of those things? Like I know last time Brian talked about doing a live reaction to watch Wolverine and Deadpool. So there's legality in that, but you guys reference a lot of that stuff in your podcast. Are there?
I mean,
So for two fat guys, because we do wrestling and other pop culture things, like tomorrow we're doing the MCU Phase 4 over underrated. We refer to it, but even in our artwork, it's little loopholes that we found, like even in the promotion that we can do. And we've actually been followed by the official Marvel Studio page because we promote them so much.
Oh, that's
Okay.
Yeah, that's a blessing. And when they came through for us, we was like, but as far as like, I would love to do a live reaction, a watch show for like a what they call PLEs now, or what y'all know as pay-per-views. We just can't physically show it.
Yeah, you can't show it.
Yeah.
So I can have it on my iPad and still be talking live on the stream, and I'm like, oh my god, like that, kind of like still selling it and talking about it as it's happening.
Like a commentator.
Yeah, like a commentator, yeah. But as far as like disclaimers, since we never put anything physically on the podcast, we stay within that realm. Even if you watch the artwork that we do, or that Danny does for promotion, it's altered. So that way we don't infringe. Because like those are little things that we found out. Like, so you can take a Marvel poster and alter it a little bit and put your logo on there, and it won't be considered copyright infringement because you alter the same exact thing. So it's little loopholes like that we've learned on the way. Because like we posted something one time before, and Facebook instantly blocked it. It was like copyright. It was like, what is this? And when we looked at it, like I kept trying to post the Spotify link to our latest episode, and Facebook kept catching it because the word freaking, which is part of the guy's name that we was talking about, is in it. So once I realized that, I took the freaking out and it stuck. There's little things like that we've learned and going on. But as far as like disclaimers, as long as you know how to use the system that is put out there for you to use, you're straight.
That's it.
Yeah, it's the same with like I mean, for those who have watched my part, I don't really show much. I just I shoot from hip.
That don't look like T.
I'm gonna get into the showing, but yeah, like Kev said, it's just how you play the system. It's the same way when if you're at a cookout or somewhere you're going live, Facebook asks you, you don't own the rights for this music. That disclaimer just right there is enough to do it. And even if you're showing video, sometimes you can show the video, but you can't show the art. You can't have the audio. Sometimes the audio is where they catch you quicker than the video. Like you can show the video, and that's why sometimes if you watch some of these videos on Facebook, you wonder why it's sped up and why there's music over top of it, because the video is okay, but it can't be a direct replay of what you're using. So
now the caveat to that, Brian, is that we started doing trailer reactions. So what we do is, because YouTube is considered a third-party platform, we'll stream YouTube directly into StreamYard as a screen share.
Yes.
And record it. And when you upload it, Facebook is like, okay, this is a third party. This is not coming from the direct source. Right. So that's one of those loopholes. Even with the music, I had started, which I and this is on me, but I had started these daily inspirational things. When I would talk about life lessons and stuff like that, but there will always be music in the background. But I knew how to put the music in the background to where it would not get flagged by Facebook, as long as it's not on the forefront of what you of the video or your presentation, that it won't get flagged. It's little tricks I've learned by doing this that allows us to mitigate the disclaimer rule. Not saying that we're trying to ignore it, but we get it. We get it. Like people want their money, and we just can't afford it right now. So we gotta do what we gotta do.
small business versus big business.
Right.
So, you know, we've kind of intro the topics and stuff that you guys have either just done or are getting ready to do. What's the process that you all use to choose shows or to choose guests?
I look at the temperature of what's going on around me. With Married Life, with Married Life, I just pull from my personal experiences or experiences that I hear from other people. That's why I ask people on Married Life, if you want to, if you want to hear, if there's a topic you want to hear or something like that, feel free to. I'm about to block some people on this MacBook. Feel free to DM me and stuff like that. No, because my son got his friends calling my iPad, which is linked to my MacBook. So it's all
got you.
So, but for the Married Life, it's just from personal experiences, myself. Within the basement with B, again, it's just pop culture, like it's just the stuff that I may see it on YouTube, I may see it on Facebook. Me and Kev may talk about in the group we're in. I'm like, oh yeah, this will be a dope topic. Like with the episode I'm shooting on tomorrow with in the basement will be with the powers that be. I figure it would be a dope. Like I think Chrissy, you and me had that conversation.
Yes, and I'm so excited for you.
Breaking down Superman's powers, how they work and stuff like that. So it's just sometimes I just pull inspiration from everywhere. That's the easy part. So for me is pulling inspiration is structuring it for the show. Sometimes could be a little because I tend to ramble. So sometimes just putting structure together
like
for
you're doing
show.
now.
Shut up, D Nice. But yeah, so
Charles with this non-camera, yo, this is killing me, yo.
Y'all be all right. You be okay. You will be fine.
We know what you look like.
Your life will go on.
I think for us, it's a combination of different things. It's like the stuff that we into, stuff that we know that people that follow us are into. Because we realized that it's other geeks out here that watch wrestling. There's other geeks out here that's into the Marvel.
Are they really
universe.
Geeks though? Do you really consider yourselves geeks?
I consider myself I consider myself a geek, but I'm a nerd in certain categories. Like I don't consider myself a nerd when it comes to comic books and like the MCU and DCU. I was around it, but I wasn't immersed in it. Wrestling, I'm a nerd. I'm immersed in it. You see what I'm saying? So that's like my passion. Music, I'm a nerd when it comes to music because that's my passion. So that's what Danny and I we figured that out, and then we know it's other people such as Chris and Brian, just naming two, who are into comics heavy, like and because Chris was the one that sent me the new Captain America trailer. That she asked and she was like, "Have you seen it yet?" I was like, "No, I didn't know it was out." Boom, she sent it, and then the one I looked up was the Japan version. She sent me the American version, and there's a whole different Japan trailer. I was just like, okay. You know what I'm saying? So for us,
I would not know any of that, sir.
Right, but I didn't know
watch
either.
our shows.
I didn't know either because this is what happened. I did a trailer reaction to the Captain Man trailer. to the Captain America trailer. Excuse me.
Captain
And
Man.
look, I corrected myself. Captain America, Captain Man.
Corrected because I said nothing wrong.
You know,
Right. And she said something. She was like, She was like, yeah, I agree. Nerds are more passionate than geeks.
She was asking.
I don't know. I thought she was. I do see the question mark. I went to Northern. I wasn't in the advanced classes.
Whoa,
some of
son.
y'all were.
Whoa, son.
I said I wasn't in the advanced classes like some of you were. Let me finish.
And advanced classes was regular
showing up
classes. So
with
what are you
that
saying,
regular
kid?
No, advanced classes was future.
Thank you.
Advanced classes was future. Okay. Future had their own classroom.
They did.
You had the knowledge.
It wasn't a big standard at Northern, sir. You really might want to
I'm not gonna let you downplay my education like that.
listen. I'm not downplaying it, but it wasn't like advanced classes is like algebra 2. Like
No, sir. I took physics and calculus.
Right.
they didn't have calculus in Northern.
They
Yes,
did.
they did.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you can
They
tell I
did.
didn't go to that class.
And it was distance learning. We were the first
Because you
group
stayed in
that
the
actually
bedroom all
worked to
day.
use the distance
I
learning.
stayed in the choir
I did
room,
distance
man.
learning. I did distance learning. It was African American literature. I did that class. That
Man,
class
I
was
was-
lit.
in those hallways, nobody went in.
Man, that was on the full floor, yo.
No, it was right across. It was right across from the office.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah, it
I
was
tried
on the
my
main
best to
floor.
stay away from that place.
But
Yo, it's
But-
Charles.
Oh,
Hey.
We'll see how long this lasts.
He
back to my
must have got his
comment.
wife's iPad.
you know what?
I had something nice for you too, Anthony, and I'm not doing it.
So for us, it's the feel
Shout out
of
to
pop
you.
culture. It's the feel of what we into. Like when Brian, and I know I keep calling on Brian because this stuff is fresh in my mind. When Brian did the show and we talked about doing phase 4, Brian was like, I want in. Let me
that's
be
what's up.
part of this. So we was like, all right, boom, because now we always
damn
knew
it.
it was a community. We always knew it was a community. So now we just the nerds bringing the communities together. Like,
That's what's up.
don't
I
be
definitely got my
ashamed
own
of what
thoughts
you
on
into.
That phase 4. That phase 4 is trash. But
I thought honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Like everybody might not know this, but Brian is my brother.
The last name would have never gave it away.
Never
I
would
I mean,
Never
he
would've
got,
gave it
he
away.
got Brian J. He got Brian J. up, so they probably wouldn't have gotten that. But I thought Brian was like the only person in the world that knew comic books to the level that like y'all are speaking. Like, there's no way my brain has the capacity to even hold the knowledge that y'all three have with regards to.
No, it's not that. It's not that
brain
your
is
brain
forever
doesn't have.
expanding, sir. Don't limit
it's the
yourself.
passion.
No,
I limited
it's
myself to
not-
just music
No,
and
it's not the
style.
fact. It's not the fact that your brain
You're
doesn't have
bored.
the capacity.
Thank you,
It's
Jenny.
just-
They do have the same face.
It's not the fact that your brain doesn't have the capacity. It's just not what you into.
Yeah.
Like-
That, true. There you go.
Like
There-
me,
I don't even
love
watch
English.
the movies.
Hold on, I'm gonna give you an
Blasphemy.
education hit. I'm gonna give you an education hit. I love to write. I love English. You put a math problem in my face, I'm fighting you. I don't have the capacity
Yeah, that's where
to
it's up.
sit here and do algebraic equations and calculus and trigonometry. Only reason I did it in college because it was a requirement for me to get my degree. That was it. And even then, I ain't gonna stunt. I did the minimum. I
You
did what
cheated.
I needed to do. I did. I'm not gonna stunt.
Yeah.
Hey, I need you to look. Hey, you know how you can
Yeah.
program Linux?
I will cheat
I'll
all
help you
English
with
classes now with ChatGPT.
I am on day
We didn't have chat- we
7,012
didn't have that when I was in
without
school.
having to know the circumference of a cone. Like, that's all I'm saying. I'm on
Right.
day 7,012 without knowing the circumference of a cone.
I'm
Like,
right
I'm okay.
with-
Like, I'm living.
I just know a circle is 365 degrees. Okay, it's all.
right. Saying it wrong. So let's segue right here.
Okay.
Let's segue because what you're saying is really good. What influences you for your podcast? Like, content is one thing, but what influences you and style and how you decided to do your podcast, what topics you chose to do. Are there inside influences or outside? Because like for Anthony and Charles, for the Husbands Lounge, you guys have a whole Facebook group. So
Right.
there's stuff that potentially comes from that. But is there other people, other things that also influence what you do?
So
I go?
with the
Oh, go
oh,
ahead.
you want to go, Charles?
Yeah, because I've hardly been in the conversation because I'm dealing
Yeah,
with all this
because
stuff.
we can't see you. No, but that's a whole other story. Let's.
Listen,
ahead.
my voice carries. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm gonna go on mute.
Yeah, you do that. What inspires my podcast for both of them, honestly, is real life. Like we all have our conversations within our like group chats with our friends, family, etc., etc. We see stuff on the internet that is just wild, and we all have an opinion on it, and we just honestly take that we take that inspiration and we use it. Like
Yeah.
a lot of our content, honestly, has come from the foolishness we've seen on the internet.
Yeah.
And that's what fuels us.
Right.
And it's also the inspiration of no one else is doing this.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of division podcasts out here, a lot of everything that's try to pit one against the other, however you want to, slice and dice it. But for us, it's like, no, we can talk about the division part, but we're not promoting the
Yeah.
division. You know what I'm saying? We're used the division stuff as a way to, all right, so here's the other side of the game. How do we heal from it? How do we get back to
The center.
How do we reconcile with each other? How do we reconnect with each other? How do we repair with what we've had? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. I honestly think since the pandemic, it's gotten worse.
Yeah.
Like we've all gone into this, like, I'm gonna fight for my corner and this is where my stand is, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, F what everybody else is talking about. And I'm like, no, that's not how we're supposed to go through this life. Like this life is about with us going together, like and working on the problem together and fixing the problem together. So yeah, that's where our inspiration comes from. Our inspiration comes from the real life and how can we get back to loving one another, respecting because that's the huge thing. We've lost a lot of respect for each other lately.
Yeah.
So I think that's our biggest motivation.
Yeah, and to piggyback from Charles, and to answer your question from a different aspect of it, inspiration, like other podcasters that I've watched, like Tim Ross, what is it? My Future Wifey, that podcast. You Sound Crazy is another one that I watch.
I love
that just their style and how and it's more of a conversation than more so an interview style type of podcast. And I went with me going to Charles and getting the idea of even doing a podcast with the Husbands Lounge. It was more so like, dude, like I want to just have genuine, authentic conversations about the life of being a husband, the challenges of being a husband, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the everything, the vows of being a husband. And we do talk about a lot of it, and it's a lot. Sometimes we get side eye about our wives and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, those things that we talk about are necessary. It might not necessarily be our household, but it's something that we can literally talk and educate others about based off of our opinions and our lifestyles and things that we have been through and things that we've been through throughout the years of us being married. We can speak intelligently under our opinion, with regards to those issues. So, but like Charles said, just to
Oh
recenter.
my
Really,
God.
Jenny? Really?
We are everywhere. That's the problem. Y'all not looking for us. That's the problem. That's the ripple. Matter of fact, no.
You want me?
I'm gonna let Anthony finish.
Look, I'm
So-
getting ready to let y'all.
I
get
went
ready to
straight
let
to
y'all do
dating
that.
university mode, and my
All right.
apologies.
So the one issue is that you're trying to find them.
Hey,
Cut that out.
hallelujah.
Right.
Huh?
Right. If he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing. So if you're
You stop with the
looking
word
for
that
him,
sentence, sir. You got to be a
if
wife
you're-
first. You have to.
if
have
you're
a wife
looking for
mentality.
him,
Amen.
right? If you're looking for him, it's already a screwed up system, right? Secondly, are you? This might rattle some. This might step on your toe a little
Rattle
bit.
the cages,
Go ahead,
son.
Anthony, go ahead.
Are you? Thank you, babe. Are you mature enough now to be a wife?
Mm.
Because you got to be one before you are one.
Yes, thank you. You have to be one before you are one, or portray yourself, or know the duties and the roles of a wife before you step into the role of that title.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna play scorn husband with that
The
comment.
scorn, because you've been that.
Because I've been that. So this is my second marriage. But I always say I should have married her in the first place. Because we've been on and off for 20 some odd years, but we've been married for 9 years now. My oldest son is by my current wife. My second son is by my ex-wife, and she betrayed herself to be a wife. She gave me all the qualities, and she played the game very well. Did everything that a helpmeet is supposed to do. Got married, switched up on. So you still got to be careful because you can find women that can play the part, but when you actually give them the role, they should have been extras in the background in the first place.
And that's why I was
that sounds like an
speaking
episode right
on.
there.
That's why I was speaking on the maturity level of being a wife. Like, are you mature enough to handle the role of? Because again, just like if we go to Charles' other podcast, Dating University, the beginning parts of dating, you show them your representative. You don't show them your real person. That's not the real you. You feel me? That's not the real you. So even if y'all move in together and she cooked every day and and you see the aspects of a wife, but where's her heart? Where's the heart at? And that's where you're gonna lack in, or you're gonna start to see them. The sense of your sense of discernment will then start to kick in, like yours did. It may have taken a couple of years to figure it out, but eventually you saw her heart and was like, that's a heart of coal and not a.
Yeah, I mean that discernment can't just be about like, oh, he cheating.
Right.
Like
where's your heart?
That discernment got to be about, am I the problem?
Hey Charles, I'm gonna write this down for our next episode. This is
discernment, man.
It's good. It's good stuff. But even in that too, some people, their facade lasts for a very long time, but you can
because they're used to being liars.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And you can only hold that facade so much because after a while, those who lie believe the lie. So
they'll die with the lie.
You end up with the real person eventually. But sometimes it take a little longer because your emotions and everything are all wrapped up, in
that's the hard part.
Thoughts.
That's the hard part.
Or you start to believe the lie.
That's true.
No, but what Chris said, like, when you get caught up in them emotions and them red flags turn pink and chartreuse and mauve and
still red is just pretty red now.
You feel me?
Like, if you see them at all,
because you're willing, because I always joke and say love is a form of toleration. But the reality is love it is. Love is a form of toleration. Like, I love my wife to death. I I love my wife to death. And this is not a knock on women, because I know somebody will say, well, all women do that. And then it's not very true. It's not true at all. My wife does not physically, let me correct myself. She does not verbally apologize. That's one of my pet peeves. See, no, that's not true. That's not true at all. Because I've seen women apologize.
That's that act of service stuff right there.
Right. So, right, and that's what she does. She does an act of service. That's how she apologizes to me when she knows that she's done something wrong. So but I'm the type of person, just say you're sorry. But I've come to accept that from her, because I love her enough to know that that's a condition. That's her love language. She does not know how to verbally apologize. So I know if something goes down and she's wrong, she's not going to verbally. And that's something I had to come with. And that's why I said love is a form of, is you taking consideration, like, now, at the same time, love can be blind, because that was my first marriage. I was so in love, or so I thought I was so in love and so enamored with her. I wanted to look past the red flags. I wanted to look past what she was doing wrong. I wanted to look past, because I'm like, I want this to work. We have a child together. You told me that you want to give our son the life that you didn't have growing up. So that's why I was willing to put up with what I put up with. But then my backbone kicked in. Backbone was like, we're done. We're done. You want to go? Go. Because I learned a long time ago, you can't keep something that don't want to be kept. And that was the discernment that I had to come to.
So this sounds like a really good episode of The Husband's Lounge.
Yes. And this is not for this platform. But I wanted to,
Right.
We're talking about podcasters' life.
It's in the Google Doc. I'm gonna add it to the Google Doc. So.
Oh my God.
But
this is a podcaster's life, though. This is some real stuff.
It is real stuff. And here's the segue to that. How has what you're doing, Jenny?
Don't apologize, Jenny. Do not apologize.
You're fine. Jenny. How has what you're doing on your podcast influenced like your life outside of the podcast? And like, how does the Husband's Lounge influence your actual marriage? How has, the Married Life podcast, like Brian, I know you've talked about it, somewhat, like Shauna wasn't the outgoing person, but it was a part of the development for you guys when you did the Married Life podcast. Mm-hmm. How has this journey as a podcaster influenced life outside of it? Quiet. This is a good question.
I was waiting on.
No, we thought you were
I mean, you tagged.
I mean, for me,
me first, so I'm like,
with the Married Life podcast, prior to Shauna passing, it everybody knows me. I'm an outgoing. I'm such an extrovert. I don't mind talking. I will talk till cows come home, and then talk to them when they get home. But for Shauna, the way it helped her, it just gave her, it allows her to talk, to be more comfortable in front of people. One of her biggest things was speaking in front of a crowd, and speaking in front of people, seeing people speak to her. And I think I commented on a show I did a while ago, with her being a business at the time, being a business owner, she had to be that vocal person. And I think that's what worked with our marriage, the fact that we was yin and yang. When she needed to be the rambunctious person, I help her be that person. Yeah, y'all need these cameras. And when I needed to be the conservative one, she was that one to reel me in, like, all right, babe, I need you. This is not the place for that. So with the Married Life, that's one way that helped. That helped with that, as far as our relationship. And then the basement with B, that was just something to do. Actually, strangely enough, in the basement with B was my wife's idea. She it came up when I had knee surgery, and I was getting on her last nerves. Anthony, you do not have to laugh.
Yo, that is funny. It's funny though. Like, you getting on my nerves, and I did.
She's like, the conversation. Clearly, I had my knee up. I was watching New Rockstars, one of the shows on YouTube, and I'm answering the questions before they're answered and stuff like that. And she's like, "Why don't you do that yourself?" She's like, "Give yourself something to do other than sit here and look at me." Like she's like, "You got all this podcast equipment downstairs. Go shoot a show." I was like, "Well, what am I talking about?" She's like, "The same thing
You
you're talking
get
to
on
me
my
about right
nerves
now."
with. That's funny. That's
And bam.
classic.
In the Basement
Basement
with
with
B
B.
was born.
Perfect.
But
Perfect.
that's pretty much how In the Basement would be. But yeah, I mean, as far as it's affected me personally, it's given me, as far as with the married life, even now after her passing, In the Married Life has given me a new outlook on life, on married life, outside of being a husband.
Mhm.
It's given me an opportunity to see things. I can now see things both ways. At
Mhm.
first,
Mhm.
I was seeing it as a single man becoming a husband. Now I'm seeing it as a husband who's now
Becoming a
who's
single
now
man.
becoming a single man.
Sheesh.
Man,
So
Oh, let me write that down.
please, dude.
Look, y'all
So-
getting a lot of show stuff, huh?
Listen, content is content is content,
Content
is
is
content.
content.
Yeah, Ariel,
You gotta be
I low
open.
key got put on punishment. Sean low key put me on punishment. She
She
sent me to my
She
room.
literally sent you to the basement.
She sent me to the basement.
That
and
is
was
a
like,
level
get
of punishment.
out of my
Yeah.
face.
But
And
yeah,
she
Yeah.
like once I started doing it, she's like, yeah, like Anthony, like you say, she's like, you are so natural when you spoke about it. But yeah, it's just just I get, like I said, with the married life now, what it is for me as far as my lifestyle is an outlet. And it gives me a release. Like, because some of the shows that we're talking about are shows that me and Sean never got a chance to talk about. So there's still episodes that we wanted to shoot that I'm still shooting. So that's
Mhm.
where that comes from.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback off of what Brian said. Like, it's made me a better person. Like,
Yeah.
even doing dating university, like when we first started, like we were like, me and Brittany, we were both super bitter, like about dating. Period. We went on live to really just air our grievances
Mm.
about all the BS when it came to dating, and like I said, we were bitter. But as the show continued to grow and we were realizing, like, okay, now that we got all of our grievances out, now what?
Yeah.
We done said all the bad things that we hated. What are the things that we liked about dating? What are the things we liked about being in relationships? And that was right there. That was the Kickstarter for us. And we still had our ups and downs, especially with both of us being single at the early stages.
Cameras
that
not working and stuff. Yeah, I get it.
If I had a kick button, I swear to God, I would use it. I swear on everything I love. Because you just like to just take my dad. Anyway, we had issues with people that we were dating respectively. It was like, oh, you doing what with that person? You always over there. Why are you so close to that person? And why are you so this? It was just like, yo, bro, we doing a show. Like, we had no technology. Like, we were on
have
two
none now.
phones.
That bad phone. Like,
We were on two phones trying to make this thing work. You know what I'm saying?
Your technology ain't working now, man. All right, Charles, that's it. That's my last one. Yo. That's my last one.
Yo, if that's
If y'all
not
can really,
serious-
I mean, it's bad because y'all really can't see my face, but I'm really giving him.
We really can't. We really can't see your
Him.
face.
Brother, when I see you, it's on. Just know that.
That's my wife's infamous thing right there. When somebody
I know.
cutting up, she say put them in timeout. Like, I keep telling her, these are grown amen. You can't put grown amen in timeout. Like,
apparently you can, because that's how Brian got in the basement.
That's how Brian started.
No.
no, Brian got banished to the basement. It's a difference. He got banished. And it's not like the brother could walk and run. It took him an hour just to go across. You know what I mean?
I was in a whole knee
jacked up.
brace. I was
Right.
in a whole knee brace.
Right. So it's not like he could just get up and go, Nah,
Nice.
She had to help him to the basement.
That's funny. That's funny.
Anthony, Kevin, if you guys could answer that.
With me, the husband's lounge.
Let me go ahead and just stop there and just just interrupt him while he having his spill. Yeah. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Right now.
I'm gonna go because it's
Yeah.
calamities between these two. Just let me get
Our dynamic is great. Listen. Charles, I'm sorry, brother.
All right, now we had.
All right. No, really, real talk though. My during a couple of the episodes that we've had. Damn, where'd Brian go? couple of episodes. A couple of the episodes that we had with the Husband's Lounge, just talking about it out loud, made me realize some of the things that it was more of a healing process for me. Like it was like a therapy session for me. I think we were talking about what was it? It was an episode when we was talking about self-care and things of that nature. And I realized speaking about it allowed me to then go to my wife and like really have another type of conversation with her about self-care and, having that time for yourself and things of that nature. And, like her going to get her nails done and her hair done and stuff like that is part of her self-care. But what was I doing for myself to, heal or reconnect with self to make me a better person for her? So just talking it out in some of the episodes and things of that nature, because it's not a normal thing that people just sit and like husband and wives just sit and talk about all the issues or all the disagreements or dysfunctions of being married and things of that nature. People just think it's all shits and giggles, and it's not. So you go back and look at it and be like, like we really do have tough conversations, but sometimes talking it out with other people make you go back and be like, all right, I need to have that conversation with her.
Yeah.
And really like find the root of the problem, kill the root so it doesn't grow anymore.
Yeah.
Kev?
I think for me, it's for me and Danny, we both had actually talked about this. It's an escape. It's an escape for us because we work throughout the week. We are husbands, we are fathers, and two fat guys came about of two guys that just wanted to do something, and we always got something to talk about. We're passionate about what we talk about, so that's why not do it, and it allows us and other people to escape for the 90 minutes to 2 hours that we are on. It allows people to go back, even if they missed the live, they can still escape on the replay on YouTube or Facebook. It's we use it as a platform for people to go, all right, I got 90 minutes to forget about my life for a second. I got 90 minutes to just have fun. I got 90 minutes to just do all the shenanigans and be part of it. And sometimes you need that recharge. And me being a person who has suffered from mental health illness, with suicide thoughts and depression, I never had an escape. I never had the opportunity to go, I just need to step away for a moment, because it was always go, 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 go. And, and then all of us, I don't know, but I think Charles said you just became a father, Charles. I can't remember.
Oh God.
But no, I just became
okay. I know you're a father. No, Charles just got married. Yeah. But as a black man and first of all, as a black man, it's pressure already on us to act a certain way and carry ourselves a certain way. And then when you're a black father and husband, it's also more weight on our shoulders. So if we don't take that time, like you said it, Anthony, for self-care, you self-destruct. Yeah. And that's the path I was on. So when Danny came to me and said, yo, I want to do this. And I was like, bet. I wanted to do a podcast, but I didn't want to do a solo. I wanted somebody to do the podcast with. I wanted a partner because we're not the good guys. We're not the bad guys. It's not like a, good kind, bad guys. We're the fat guys. But we have conversations about it, though. Like, if you watch the podcast, it's a conversation.
Yeah.
It's a conversation, it's a debate, but at the end of the day, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's nothing but fun, and we have a great time doing it. So for us, it's an escape. And knowing that my brother, Danny, was going through the same stuff I was going through that I didn't even know about at the time, it was just fate by God that he reached out to me and was like, yo, I've been watching your inspiration videos. And I'm tired of it. It was like, what is you talking about? He's like, you're making me mad. Why? Because everything you talk about is punching me in the face.
Yeah.
Good. Because that's what it's supposed to do. But
that's where the Husband's Lounge started from too, man. Because we looked at it from an aspect of like, I know I'm not the only person going through this.
Right.
And to see people post questions about, like in the Husband's Lounge group, you see people post questions about it and all this. I'm like, dude, like there needs to be an outlet for people to at least hear, say, and do things to cleanse. And sometimes people can't afford therapy. Some people can't afford therapy.
Yeah.
And some parts of healing is to hear that you're not alone. To know that you're not the only one going through those issues like that. You feel me? Yes, therapy is definitely needed. Therapy, prayer, all that's needed. However, if you hear someone else going through it, it really puts in perspective like, dang, like this weight isn't as heavy as I thought it was.
Yeah.
I can, if I know that someone else got through it, I now know I can get through it as well with a little time, a little patience, and a little work.
It's kind of weird because, and I really don't know how else to phrase it. If anybody can phrase it better, please do. You almost find comfort in knowing that you're not the only one.
Correct.
I think that's the best way to say it.
Correct.
Correct. Like I did. So Sunday, I spoke in my church, and we've been doing this thing called "Failure is Not an Option." And the subtext for mine this time was being content in God. So failure is not an option when being content in God. And we talked about Paul and how Paul was in Philippians, and how Paul was on his, he was going to be executed. Paul knew everything that was going to happen to him. But because he had that love for God, he was content. He had that joy. He had that sovereignty. And I think sometimes we forget as men or as people that sometimes we just got to be content, not complacent, but content in the situation, because you got to know it's going to get better. Complacency is different from contentment. And I had to learn that myself.
Yeah.
People
Stand
don't know
still
that.
and know.
There you go.
Stand still and know. All right, we
Yeah.
listen. We need to be on the other podcast.
Y'all need to be on the Lazarus Movement one. So we've talked about outside influences. We've talked about, the things that we do and the topics that we choose, but we've referenced fans. So let's talk a little bit about our fans. Have you guys ever received like any feedback that stood out to you from like your listeners or from the folks in the, like for you guys, you have the Husband's Lounge Facebook page that I know, people on the page watch the show or listen to the show. But any feedback that you guys have received that has stood out?
All the time.
I'm about to say all the time. But go ahead, Charles. You can go ahead.
It was all the time, and I love it. It gives at first it's a little bit of a hard thing, especially for me being an introvert, to accept a constructive criticism.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was just like, damn, here I am. I got up the nerve. I got up the unction. I got up all of these, pushed down the introvert side of me to go on this live. And I went out here and I put myself out here, and then someone got something to say bad about it. And it took me a while to get over that part, right? It took me to the point of like, you know what? If they didn't care, they wouldn't have said nothing. They wouldn't have watched. They wouldn't have commented. They wouldn't have said nothing. So that means that they care enough to be like, you know what? I like what you're doing. You know what? This Jenny person, this Owings Mills Jenny person is. I know where Owens Mills is. Okay, you're not far.
Don't be threatening my friend, Charles. Don't be threatening my friend.
That's how Baltimore.
And this is live, dude. What are
This
you
is
doing?
live. Like I'm sitting up here pouring my heart out. I mean, you can't see it, but that's not the point.
To her point.
It's something wrong with this restream. I don't know what it is, but it is. But anyway,
Man, he said you can't see it.
but no, I love our fans. I love when they say, I love this show. I love this topic. Y'all should try to do this. Y'all should try to do this. You know, it's that keeps us going because like we say all the time on the show, like, look, this is y'all show. We just driving. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter what we say, you know what I'm saying? Because if we're not doing what the fans want or what the fans need, we're doing it for ourselves.
Right.
And that's how it started off at first. Like, you know, to be honest, it's how it started off because I was just like, everybody got to hear what I got to say. But then when I started listening to what other people were saying, that's what gave me a better insight onto how to be an effective content creator. You got to be open to constructive criticism. You got to be open to ideas. And like my grandmother used to always say, take the meat and leave the bone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say, go ahead, Brian.
I mean, for me, honestly, the reason why I'm still doing the Married Life podcast, as with In the Basement, would be any of that, is because of my listeners. It's because of my Facebook fans. You know, when Shauna passed, I was ready to give all of that up, and I'm not gonna sit here and hold you. I didn't want to do this no more. It was her idea. Like we co-created the Married Life, but I didn't see me doing the Married Life podcast without her. If you want to point to a certain point where I was like, I want to do this again. I think I mentioned this on either your show, Chrissy, when I did it, or Charles on Dating You. The day of my wife's viewing, Northern High School Vikings had a Beats and Bingo party.
Oh yeah, the day before the funeral,
everybody kept asking me, Brian, you need to come. I was not in the mental capacity to do any beats, any bingo with anybody. And I told Anthony, I was like, Anthony, I think I'm gonna ride out there. It was, for me, it was just something to break up the monotony of that day. I just wanted to get out. So that day, you know, throughout the event, those who know him, Credo and Dante Cloud, they pulled me up to the front and, you know, they surprised me with a gift. I don't want to get it because I'm gonna knock everything down. But one of the gifts was a collage of me and my wife's pictures, and it says the Married Life podcast, host of, you know, it said Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, host of the Married Life podcast. And that's when I remember Sheila, she's like, Brian doesn't know if he wants to continue it, and the whole crowd was like, no, you have to do it. And then when I announced that I was going to redo it, just the outpouring of love from that. So yeah, I mean, pretty much, season 2 of the Married Life is strictly because of y'all. Like I like I say, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I did not want to do it. I did not want to do it. I couldn't see myself doing it. But when I said I was thinking about doing it, Charles, Anthony, those who they stepped in, like, listen, we'll be there with you when it's time for you to do it, and they have. But my fans, I don't even call them listeners. My family, they definitely are are part of the reason why I still do the Married Life as well as in the basement with B. Ride with B was just I actually Ride with B was Austin's idea. He wanted to go live one day and bam, Ride with B was born. It's supposed to be Ride with B with the boys, but the boys never want to be with Ride with B.
Hilarious.
Those are the
Yeah.
best episodes though with the boys.
Yes,
Yeah,
I love their takes
yeah.
on everything.
Listen, you should see your son. I'm about to say your son. You should see your nephew now with his hair braided up the way it is.
Braided up pimp is back.
Listen, if he ain't anything like his dad, that's another episode. That's another. Hey,
As we're coming to the end of our show, just a couple more questions. Anything you would do differently, knowing what you know now? Is there anything that you would do differently? And then the caveat to that is, are there things that you are now doing differently?
Monetize, 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 and oh, let me forget, monetize.
But here's the thing with monetizing, right? Monetizing sounds great, but it's hard to do.
It's
It is.
stupid hard.
I think that's the hardest part. Like getting content out there is so easy. Now in hindsight, it's very easy to do, right? Like you can, if you want to go just live and just get your thoughts out there, you can do it. Or if you want to just record something and drop it on, it's easy, right?
Mhm.
Getting sponsorships and endorsements and people to really back you, or even if you was to just do videos on YouTube, to get to the level where monetization is a thing,
Yeah,
it's hard.
it's hard.
But that leads back to the first question where we struggle in, which is consistency,
Mhm.
right? Your consistency is the part that's going to draw more people to your content, right?
Mhm.
And I think that the things that I would change now or add to, or that we've learned from the growth of the Husbands Lounge is one, live recordings. Like I was a stickler, like no, because it could be technical issues. Like Charles right now is having a technical issue.
Yeah,
And I'm
Yeah.
only saying that because he's my other host. He's the other host of Husbands Lounge, and it feels like now like I'm talking to.
you disconnected.
Yeah, it's a disconnect there, right?
No, and I get it.
So
I get
like I would be like, yo, kill the feed, like kill the feed, fix the issue first.
it. Nah, damn that.
That's
I'm
what I
going in.
would do.
I'm going in.
Hey.
Like I'm too far in the game. I'm 8 years in.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
see,
going in.
not me. Like I'm too much, I guess, of a perfectionist to be like, yo, we can fix that in post, like or something. But nevertheless, adding live feed. Me and Charles had a discussion. It's some things in the works that we may bring up at the end. I don't know if Charles wants to bring it up or not, but there's some things in the works that he has planned
Yes.
that will elevate the podcast life in Baltimore that
Yes.
could lead to other cities touring and
ready.
things of that nature, and
I'm
he'll
ready.
speak on it if he would like to speak on it, because that's truly his idea. Even though I think I said something about it, he just now put it in works. But that's a whole nother conversation that we'll have.
Okay.
Mr. Me Too. Zach.
Yeah, like hey, that's the one thing that's one thing that I would change is to add live feed and to add. We're now working on for season 2 is to introduce video for YouTube and stuff like that, outside of StreamYard or having a live feed on Facebook and stuff like that. So, but that's another thing, because that brings more money. I mean, well, that's spending more money to eventually gain more money, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it on our end. On my end, I'm sorry, on the Husbands Lounge.
So like my boy, this is Danny. Y'all can't see him because he's in his car, and he's literally FaceTiming me right now through Facebook as I'm doing the podcast that I told you I was going to be on.
Hey, Kev.
Shout out to Dan.
It all looks like Charles' screen. Don't worry about it.
Oh my God.
What?
Today is Friday, ain't it?
Yes, today's Friday. This
Kevin.
is what happens. I'm gonna go. Bye.
That's how you know he busy.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
So, I really wouldn't change anything because we've learned as we've gone. You know, like we went from doing Facebook Live on the phone. He forgot. Yeah, he forgot. Trust me. I'm gonna remind him later, Jenny. So we went from Facebook Live on our phones to, all right, we can't keep doing this because this is gonna be a headache. So we need to figure out. And my church uses StreamYard, so I was familiar with. I said we can use StreamYard, but let's build a presence first on Facebook. Let's see what we can do with Facebook and build that presence. And we built a presence on Facebook, and then Facebook led to the podcast. And I will admit, I was hesitant on posting on YouTube, because YouTube algorithm is funny. I mean, so is Facebook, but trying to figure out YouTube algorithm, especially when it comes to podcasts, you gotta be completely different and stick out and stand out.
That's the calculus that we're supposed to know.
Right. And we kind of figured out the niche a little bit because our YouTube views have gone up. So blessings to God for that. And we're just consistently working. But I think for us it's always going to be to learn in advance. You know, monetization is not important for us. You know, if it comes, glory be. If not, it is what it is.
Because that's your outlet. It's your outlet.
Right.
It's not built for profit. Yeah.
No, I feel like as soon as you introduce monetization into it, it becomes a job.
It becomes a job.
And
I'm tired of working right race.
I am too.
Stupid. I gotta get up every day to go make somebody else rich.
No, I get you on that, but I'm not disagreeing with that. But right now, I work a full-time job, so like this is my thing. I'm not in the position as somebody that's literally half my age, where I can all right, I'm going to devote all my time into this streaming platform and into this social media thing, so I can start making money off of it, so I can live off of it. I can't do that, and I feel like I know people say when you find something that you love to do, then you never work another day in your life.
I agree.
That's a lie.
I agree and disagree with that. I agree and disagree with that because I love being a podcaster. Hey, but I don't think I can be a podcaster for a living. So that's why I don't stress about. That's why I don't stress about the monetization. Me and Danny, we got plans for like merch and stuff like that, but that's down the line. Let's continue to build the fan base. Let's continue to be an outlet. Because people have access. When y'all coming up with Two Fat Guys merch, when we get there, we're not there yet. We talked about it. We got plans. We got a man Naeem who's going to be our designer. So we got stuff on deck. But for us, it's still just being that primary outlet. It's not about monetization. It's just about having fun and having an outright foundation first, like Danny just said. Less foundation, because our house is not going to be built on sand. It's going to be built on a solid foundation. Because the Two Fat Guys plan on being around for a bit.
Well, Two Fat Guys, y'all are really solid. So,
no pun intended.
So, but as we come to the end of another great opportunity to have you guys on, I can't really ask you all the same question that I asked the last time, since we all know what you guys kind of drink, and I really don't want to start another $125 coffee conversation.
There we go.
I will ask this question. If there is anything that you could drink, what would it be?
Like forever? Like if it was one thing left?
If it was one drink that you had to drink for the rest of your life, what would it be?
A half and a half from West Baltimore, a place called Brewster's where I grew up at over west. It used to be on West North Avenue and Linden Avenue. They had the best half and halves, in my opinion.
Right, because they used that dirty West Side water. Go ahead, continue.
Wasn't your house behind?
No, Chrissy, you wanted him on this show. Remember that. You wanted him on this show.
wasn't your house? Wasn't a creek behind your house?
Oh shit!
It was a creek behind your house,
Oh,
right?
Lord Jesus.
Oh.
No, sir. The creek wasn't behind my house. It was
But
next
you was-
to the house.
That's hilarious.
it was next to the house, yo.
Lord have
Mind
Alright.
your business, Cam. No, I'm joking.
mercy.
Oh,
Brian, are you raising your hand or you just got your hand up?
no. If it was one, and Anthony's going part, he's gonna.
Oh, I already know what his is, man. This is how you know I'm his brother.
No, I'm
if
not
you
gonna
don't
say
say what I
Mountain Dew.
think you're gonna say,
I'm not gonna say
This
Mountain Dew.
what?
I was not gonna say Mountain Dew. What I was going to say, when me and Anthony was kids, my grandfather used to make this lemonade, and if I could, yeah.
Hold on. Did you hear how Anthony instantly had a he flashed back.
It had to
It
be
was
good.
instantly
It had to be
refreshed.
good.
He was instantly refreshed off the flashback. My man went. It was an instant flashback of refreshment. Okay.
Oh, that lemonade was so good.
My
yo.
grandfather used to make this lemonade. Lord,
And nobody
listen.
learned how to make it.
Yeah, and you couldn't.
I
Like
couldn't.
you couldn't.
I mean, I've came close, but because he used it was like freshly squeezed.
It's- and the powder and how like
Yo,
Oh,
the
God, so he put
pulp-
work in.
Yeah, yo.
he put
And then he
like-
had an old. I think it was the lemon squeezer that he
Yeah, he had
used.
the-
Like it was
he-
old. It was like 1930 old.
So it had all the
So it had
all the
seasoning.
so it was already seasoned.
It was
like a
seasoned.
cast
It was
iron pot.
seasoned.
Yeah, like a good cast iron skillet.
Yeah,
Yes,
like I don't think that thing was ever washed. I think
Wow.
it was rinsed off.
It was rinsed off. It was never washed.
It was rinsed
He just
off. It
used
was
it,
never
rinsed it
washed.
off, and put it
Soap
back.
never touched that thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
but-
lemonade
yeah,
was
my-
good. Jeez.
Yeah, my grandfather used to make a pitcher of lemon, and like yeah.
Pre-season.
If it wasn't his lemonade, it was my father's Kool-Aid. My father's Kool-Aid will give you diabetes. You know.
Yeah, you wouldn't be
that
here
was-
much longer if you drunk that though. Every
That was my aunt's Kool-Aid. That's my aunt. Well, she can't make Kool-Aid. I don't think she could drink Kool-Aid and goddamn no more. But my mother's sister, that was her Kool-Aid. Like, you know, you're a black kid. You grew up in the hood. Like, Kool-Aid was like your go-to drink. I could not drink her Kool-Aid. And
Yeah.
that's when I realized something. And I know, and y'all can take shots at me all you want. Because she lived
Kevin,
on
don't
that
say it
corner
because
house.
you know my gun
She
is
lived on the
loaded,
corner
sir.
house. She lived on the corner house right there on Kirk Avenue. As soon as you turn off Alameda, she lived in that corner house. So I learned that maybe East Side people didn't know how to make Kool-Aid properly.
Pause.
Yeah.
So my
I will
drink of
kick you off
choice.
right now.
I'm not even going to entertain Kev.
I'm so
Hold
mad
on.
about it right
Chris,
now.
Chris, you said that you remember the other day. You said you're not even from Baltimore. You're from PG County.
You right
So-
about it.
So you kind of.
You just,
But I've lived in
my-
Baltimore long enough to say that I'm from there. So play with me if you want to.
Ooh.
oh,
I can't say what I want to say because my wife on here.
Thank you.
I just work.
Anthony, is your drink the same as Brian's?
no, it's not. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Mine will be H2O.
Yeah.
It will be water. Because I'm a logical person. I can just buy lemons and sugar and make lemonade with it. I'm resourceful. I can still make my coffee. I can still make my tea.
Fair.
But no, H2O, water would be my thing.
In a
I've been
glass
on
cup.
this, I guess, this health journey, health kick for a minute, down 20 pounds. So, I'm just trying to stay on that. About to start back to the gym. So yeah, water would be my thing. As much as I love lemonade, as much as I love grape soda.
You would pick the blackest. You would pick the blackest of black sodas, yo.
You ready for this?
God
I'm
damn.
the blackest person you probably ever when it comes to food. My favorite
Grape
fruit is
soda,
watermelon
fried chicken.
and fried chicken. I swear that's just
He's
me.
a carbon copy of our dad.
I'm the carbon copy of him. Only difference with my dad, he used to put salted peanuts at the bottom of his, which was weird. He used to put peanuts at the bottom of his grape soda, and I guess he liked the saltiness or that sweet savory feel. I wouldn't
I
do it.
found your 20 pounds.
Yo, my man Danny said he found your 20 pounds, y'all.
I can't.
You can keep it. Don't send it back this way.
Don't send it back.
Oh, wait, what happened? What the what?
That's that Lord, that's that timer. We don't have that problem. We don't have that problem on StreamYard.
There it is.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I just wanted to do something.
So water would be my thing. As much as I love grape soda, as much as I love lemonade, water, H2O.
Okay.
It could be bottled. It won't be purified, but it has to be spring or from the tap or from a water hose. One of the three.
All right.
From the water hose.
Charles?
Hold the pause, y'all. You said pause. Nah, we not about to walk on ball. Nah. You said spring water.
If it's from bottle, it has to be spring.
Okay, but you said now purified, but you would drink water from the hose.
For
Yes.
sure.
Is it water
We
from the
grew up on
hose?
Oh my God.
Isn't water from the hose worse than purified water?
And listen, man, water, a hose water is completely different because it's nostalgic
water,
for
I'm
us.
telling you.
It's
No,
nostalgic. That
Yeah.
takes me back to if I come in the house, I gotta stay in the house.
Yeah.
So I would drink water from the
You
water
gotta- you gotta let that
hose.
water- You gotta let that hot
So-
water run out the hose first, and then you gotta get the drinking.
So,
Yeah, you gotta let the hot
Alright.
water run out first, and then yeah.
That's how high
And, and if tap water, this is a weird one, but only from the bathroom. Like it's something about 3:00 in the morning drinking bathroom
Yeah,
from water
yo.
from the tap
Talk to
in
me
from
right.
the bathroom. It's something about it. I
I'm not
think
gonna
it's the
cap on that.
coldest
I'm not even gonna hold you.
You know what?
I'm not even gonna hold you on that. I was
I'm not
the same
even-
way.
from
I'm
the
not even
sink
gonna-
tap.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
the
not even gonna
coldest.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna go in the bathroom and cut the water on in cup hands.
Cup.
It was cup
Yeah.
hands.
Hey,
Cup.
All right.
Shit.
Yeah.
They fall right back. That sleep like nothing.
Like it's nothing.
Man.
That's a man.
I gotta be a
That's a
man.
man thing.
Man
It gotta be a
thing.
man.
Yeah,
thing.
I'm ready to
Man
say
thing.
that might be a T cell thing.
That's the
Charles.
best tap water ever. It could be from Michigan, Flint, Michigan. That water
No,
still
no,
could be
no,
good
no,
from
no,
the
no,
back.
No,
You go too far, man.
No,
COVID free water from the bathroom.
I can't do it.
Danny, shut up, yo.
For me, yeah, I am on a huge water kick. Like I have a gallon water jug that I will
You
pretty
can't
much
see it.
finish by like half the day.
Wow.
Like, I will
Wow.
finish that, and I'll be like, "Damn, I'm thirsty. Now I need to do another one."
Charles
but-
probably holding the water bottle up like we can see it.
No, I'm not. It's at work. I got tired of lugging that damn thing around. But shut up, Anthony.
Charles like, I drink water. Sir, we can't see that, man. You holding up a fifth of Hennessy.
I mean, I do got my rum right here. Me and my rum is happy right now. We're happy. I'm like, look, Chrissy, I'm trying to be nice, and see, God knew what he was doing. He was like, yeah, I was gonna drink tonight. So I'm going.
That's okay, Charles. Get him in the backstage.
Yeah, but yeah, water is definitely
This
like
camera
my
still ain't
favorite.
gonna work.
Yeah, I promise you, it ain't me, man. It's this restream thing. It's a pop up that I can't find. It's weird.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
Flint, Michigan
But
water
we had no
removes
problems
that.
the last time. So on that note,
Tattoos.
thank you guys
No.
so much for being a part of the
Thank
show.
you.
I do want you guys to be able to let those that are watching and those that watch on the rebroadcast where they can find you and what is up and coming for you. So Anthony, starting with you.
Perfect. Yeah,
Well, you always get to
I'm
go first.
because my
Yeah.
name starts with the A. Yeah, I'm one of half of the Husbands Lounge podcast. Where you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're joining YouTube soon, and we're going to start live streaming from Facebook. soon. Just give us some time. We're gonna get it right. Up and coming episodes. Me and Charles are actually going to speak about that this weekend to kind of get an idea of where we're going to go with it. We did discuss that we wanted to get the wives on to introduce the wives to the world. I'm not sure if that's the case now because we had something else pop up with regards to that. But yeah, the husband's lounge, man, is we speak like Chrissy said earlier in my intro. We create, cultivate, celebrate the lifestyle of being a husband in the 21st century. That's what we do. That's what we talk about, and it's everything with regards to being a husband: the good, the bad, the indifferent, and everything that speaks on husband.
Great. Charles?
Well, yeah, like everything Anthony said about the Husband's Lounge, I'm excited for us being in the middle of the season. We got some great things that we really want to bring to the people to be able to make sure that we are giving the light and the love to the life of being a husband. Like everybody want to be single, everybody want to be outside, whatever. No, it's good over here in this world. It is really good over here. This person with this Jenny, we squaring up, yo. I'm coming. We're gonna square up.
Focus. Dating University.
Dating University comes back next month. September 12th is our first episode. Like I said earlier in the show, we are bringing back the love. We're bringing back the joy. This season's theme is bringing us together. So yeah, we're looking to do some amazing things. We have some events that we got in the works, some in-person things. But on the broader note, yes, I am working on something I'm praying that Baltimore is going to love
and receive it. Yeah.
And we're going to grow from it.
Yeah.
And there's, like I always say, man, there is space in this space.
Yes.
No one person or hush, Jenny. There's no one person and no one group that has a monopoly on one part of this content creation. So therefore, it's not copying. It's just finding a way to do it and do it better.
I think she just called you John Cena, yo.
You can't see me. You can't see me.
Brian?
Me?
Yes.
Well, you can find me on the Married Life podcast as well as In the Basement with B. What's wrong, bud? Huh? What? Give me a minute, okay?
Is that my guy, Caleb? Is that Caleb?
That's Caleb. Yeah,
That's
he doesn't
my
hear
guy.
my podcast.
You've been way too long. You know what it is.
Yeah, yes. So, Married Life podcast. Next episode is coming September the 1st. I will be having, for the first time ever, guests on the Married Life podcast. I'm having a couple. It's actually a same-sex couple. Miss Noy and AI Frisbee Brown.
I knew you was gonna get them, yo. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So Noy's a life coach, and her wife is a photographer that's pretty well known in Baltimore. So we're definitely it's gonna be a pleasure to talk with them. They have been such a blessing since my wife passed to just me and my family. So I would love to have them on here. In the Basement will be coming back tomorrow, and tomorrow I will be discussing the powers that be. I'm starting a series called The Powers That Be, like how powers that be in the basement would be. Powers that be. In the powers that be, I will be discussing powers and how they work within the real world. So the first person I'm going to be speaking of is
my guy.
I'm going to speak on Superman. I'm going to tell
only
you.
superhero I know.
And so Anthony, you will want to watch tomorrow. You will want to watch tomorrow. So tomorrow, the powers that be, what I will be doing is breaking down exactly how Superman powers work. What makes him fly? How can he see?
He's an alien.
X-ray?
It's so much more than
Awesome.
that.
Thank you, Brian. Kevin.
So much more than that.
Little brothers that doesn't know any.
This ain't your lane.
The same way I am about Superman, Anthony, you are about Hammond organs. I can look at it and tell you what
Okay.
it is, but I can't tell you how it works. I can look at Superman and tell you what it is and how he works. So, on the
Wonderful.
powers that be, first episode is going to be Superman. I had a special request to do Storm as well. So Storm may be in the episode as well. So we just gonna see how
Listen.
that goes.
That young lady is so OP right now.
She's an Omega
Yeah.
level mutant.
Yeah.
If you watch X-Men 97, you know exactly what me, Charles, and
Dan, goodbye.
give them the forecast. DJ,
I'm looking to see if I got like a snoring button on here.
No,
Goodbye.
don't do that.
No, I'm joking.
Kevin,
I'm joking,
Wow.
Yo, go ahead. I'm sorry, bro.
Kevin,
I'm looking at my partner's comment talking about he's a cleaner.
don't
Like,
just talk about
That's your
yourself,
partner.
please.
there's my partner. That's my dude. That's why I love him to death. Because Danny come out of any which way, you don't even know where it's coming from, and you still see it coming. Yeah. So you can find two Fat Guy Podcasts on Facebook. That's how we are listed as Two Fat Guys Podcast, and on YouTube as Two Fat Guys Podcast, Spotify Two Fat Guys Podcast, Instagram and TikTok Two Fat Guys Podcast 99. Tomorrow we are doing Phase 4 of the MCU over and underrated. So we're gonna talk about the movies, some of the movies from MCU's Phase 4. If they was overrated or underrated. And we're gonna have a special guest on the show. Our brother right here, Brian J.
Just
gonna
doing
be
a world
joining us.
tour of
I'm on
podcasting,
the
sir.
world tour with
I'm here on
Muhammad,
the
my
world
man.
tour with my man.
Right. So he's gonna be joining us tomorrow night. And if anybody has been
Don't worry, I
watching
won't
us,
have the
know
Superman shirt on.
I'll be in the comments. I'll be in the
it
comments.
is gonna be shenanigans as normal. 8 o'clock. Hopefully Danny's on time. But 8 o'clock though, that's what we're gonna be at, and we got more stuff coming down the pipe. So just stay tuned. And Charles, whatever movement you making, if it's gonna better us as a collective, I'm for it. Just get me. I want to be part of it.
I got you.
I'm still waiting on my invite for the husband's lounge.
That's
But-
a backstage conversation.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I gotta
Chrissy,
call
what you
people
got
out.
going on, Chrissy?
Right.
so
I'm the black, of course not. I'm black, of course not.
okay. So for me, with
Can you block him? Can you block him?
No, I can't. For
You can. You don't want to.
Crumbs by Chris, the summer is over for us, so we are back in the banana pudding business. So I'll be doing banana pudding cups this weekend, as well as old fashioned pound cake. So if you're going to be in my area or in my church's area on Sunday, you can come past and grab you one.
Where's your church? My bad. That's backstage. I'm gonna ask you backstage.
With regards to the Lazarus movement, we are doing a session tomorrow on our if journey, dealing with the what if possibilities of God. So it really is about changing your thinking and going forward in that particular mindset versus asking God the if and just allowing him to do what he needs to do and believing.
So she's just an equal opportunity shot taker. She's an equal opportunity shot taker.
Hey,
I
you
see
said
that.
that's your
You
bestie.
know, she don't want none of that smoke with me, cause her and I got something else. That's my homie. She used to be my employee.
Oh,
To be her boss.
oh,
So
See, I'd have fired her too.
she know better. Anyway, and then with regards to this podcast, like I said, somewhere in the show, my next show is going to be about infertility, and it really is about what I have been going through, even to the level of the jealousy that I had when my sister was pregnant and had my nephew.
Wow.
So it's going to be
That's
a
deep.
good
Really be forgetting that
a
you got
good
siblings.
conversation. I'm probably
deep.
going to cry at some point.
Are you going to have guests?
I am trying to have a guest.
Okay.
That if she
I know
is
somebody.
available. But
Yeah.
if somebody wants to join me in the show, I have no problems. I would probably prefer somebody else to be on the show. So that'll help me keep keep me in check. But with that being said, like I said at the top of the show, I have enjoyed having you guys on. I hope that this won't be the last time, whether it's collectively or individually, that you guys come back and do something else with me on the Coffee and Tea podcast. Like I said in the last show, I don't look at you guys as just my friends. You guys are family to me.
Yeah,
So
same.
if you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to buzz me. Okay.
Absolutely.
Fans, friends, thank you guys so much for staying on, even beyond the 90 minutes, just to see and hear. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say. I wanted to thank your families, your wives, your children, for allowing you guys, and I say allow, not meaning that you had to get permission, but for allowing you guys to be a part of the podcast. You all right?
Brian, you don't have to press the mute button.
The
Yo, we don't need to
podcast,
hear that.
taken away from your husbandly and your fatherly duties just to spend a little bit of time with me on the show. So thank them as well. Coffee and Tea fans, see you guys next time on the show. Have a great night.